Alright, good evening. We're going to show you how to put a focal reducer on the MallinCam Universe and the DS16. And this focal reducer includes an optional, you don't have to use a spacer, but if you do add the spacer to it, you're going to get a lot more field of view. So here, we're going to be pulling the focal reducer out of the package here. And these are T threads type, and it's pretty well how it's going to work. First of all, don't put your fingers in the lens. This is the front of the camera, the MallinCam Universe. You basically remove the front cap, which is made out of aluminum, and then you take the spacer. There's a threaded male here, and that screws directly at the front of the camera. And you certainly could bring it all the way until it stops. You don't over tight it, just gently. And here's your focal reducer, and you screw that right at the front of the spacer. And once you've got that lined up, you're good to go. And now you could put your 2-inch adapters. I could see here, this is a focal reducer that hasn't been tested yet, so the locking screws are still on it, so I'm going to make sure that this is not on it. And but for now, we're just going to leave them on. And the same idea applies here on the DS16c and the DS2.3 Plus, because they also have the exact same type of thread, which is a T thread. So in this case, we could remove this as one piece with the spacer. But if you don't need the spacers, a lot of the time it could give you vignetting. It'll depend the type of optics you're using. So we're going to remove the spacer and allow the focal reducer to be on its own. Here, I'm just going to remove them little locking screws. That's the beauty of this. It's precision made where you could actually lock it in place. So I'm going to move the Universe for the moment away, and we're going to be using the DS16c, and the same idea is the way to go here. So all we got to do is screw that in. Here's the focal reducer directly mounted on the camera. This would be the way that I would choose to go. And if your optical system permits, you may want to use the spacer. Again, the greater the distance from the lens of the focal reducer to the CCD or the CMOS sensor in this case, the wider field of view you'll get. So that's the whole idea of adding a spacer. This kind of works for the DS2.3 Plus as much as the DS16, and you gotta use a specific focal reducer because it was made and designed for large sensor. So here I just applied installed the spacer, and the focal reducer will go right over it, and you're good to go. Next part is you could also install your 2-inch adapter that normally would go on it, or you could slide this directly into your 2-inch focuser. And that's it. This is how it's done to install the focal reducer. Thanks for watching.